Episode 11 of Gangsta surprised me in more ways than one. Mainly, it surprised me, in the fact that we did not see Nicholas or Warwick in the entire episode, but instead, they pretty much made Delico and Marco the main characters, at least for the moment, because like these characters now have a moment to shine, and I do wonder if this will, pay off. But we see now that at the beginning of the episode, we have Delico now about to go out on his own. And we see that, like right now he is doing this without Mr. Monroe's permission because no one knows about this. But he has an old friend called Yang who now, sees him, preparing to go out. And of course, you would think that Yang here might be trying to stop him, but no, that was not the case. Nor will like Yang, just stick around in the mansion and wait for Delico to come back. But instead, this guy will actually go out with his friend, and they will track down his sister together. And to me, that right there shows a nice bond between them. But we see now that when they were leaving, we have two other guys that are like rather close to Mr. Monroe. They were like waiting at the gate, and we see at first those two were worried, but no. I definitely like the fact how the whole like Monroe family, how they're all very close, because not only did they not try to stop Delico, but they also gave him the permission, and of course they like made it into a joke saying bring him back a souvenir. But I'm definitely glad no one's like trying to stop him from tracking down his sister, because maybe he can possibly save her instead of killing her, from what the series is like showing off so far. But we see now that these, true hunters, these true talent hunters, they definitely are like living up to the name, because we have Emilio, who is Alice's, younger brother. This guy's like very skillful with explosive, as he made all the explosions go around the city. And we see now that this smoke that is like coming, from these explosions, apparently these are like one of the task's greatest weaknesses, because not only can they not see clearly, but at the same time, it is also affecting their sense of smell. Now, obviously, these bombs that they're using, they are definitely, like special made, but I had no idea they could handicap a tag or a toy like this, so much. And we even see now that Doug, who I thought was definitely going to be around, a lot longer, we see him now getting cut down by one of these hunters. And to me, that right there was like rather shocking, because I was sure that like maybe Doug would like meet up with Nicholas, and these two came together, to take down these hunters. But I had no idea he would be taken out that way by someone who actually had a similar scar. Obviously it's not as bad as Marco's, but he does have a scar on his face, so I do wonder what happened to him. But we see that, Marco, he was now at the Bastard Club, and we have him and Connie, talking. And of course, once again, we get a very nice romantic moment between them. But not only that, when Connie was like leaving, she actually did the hand sign for I love you. And to me, that right there was like pretty cute. And now going back to Alex and the leader or the head of the Cristiano family, we see now that baby will now be taken in somewhere safe. And we see that when Miss Cristiano had went down to tell Alex the news, she actually called the baby by her baby brother name. And I thought Alex here already had had already remembered everything, but no. Right now, she had actually remembered her brother's name, because she actually, accidentally called the baby that. She had called it Amelia, where in fact that the baby is really called, I believe they said Louis or Louise. Right now I forgot, but obviously she had gotten the names wrong. And so right now we see these hunters putting in work. We have that one chick who I believe goes by Sig. This girl is like a master with that axe, and she was cutting down everybody. But apparently those Twilight she was like taking down, they were all like pretty much fire level. And not only that, we also have Colt, who I believe who was his biggest target was Doug. But this guy was like insanely fast, and pretty agile, because at one point we had someone shooting him and this guy was like dodging the bullets in midair before killing that person. So right now, Sig and Colt, these two are putting in the most work, because right now they were on a serious rampage. But eventually we go to Gina and what's her name, and Ginger, and these two are like very close because they were actually sleeping in the same bed. And so right now, when Gina had woke up, she was actually surprisingly calm. Now I do believe that Gina is the leader. Hopefully I am saying her name right, because I do believe she is the one that's like in charge of everything. So right now we have Gina getting like a drink, from her fridge, and she asks another Twilight, like what's going on out there. And obviously now it's not looking good, but she was not worried. And eventually when she opened her door, or like some kind of door, because right now it seems they live in kind of like a garage that could turn into a room. But when she opens that door, we have Colt and Sig now showing up. And obviously, Gina here, she not scared at all. And we even see Gina putting in some fear into them at one point. And so right now we have Sig, who really, who really wants to fight Gina. So obviously this girl is definitely either very confident in her skill, or she is possibly underestimating, Gina. But then we have Colt, who actually tried to get a sneak attack in on Gina. But then we have Ginger, who we all know is the strongest tech we have seen so far, because her rank is an SO. And so obviously now with her skill, not only did she like block his attack, but she also broke his knife as well. And to me, that right there was like pretty impressive, because she had some serious strength there. And so we see now that at one point, Gina here was like going to let all these guys handle it, because, obviously there'd be no need for her to fight when all they killed was like fodder Twilight so far. And so right now we have all these other members, now surrounding them. But Sig here, she did not want to waste her time with them, but instead she actually wanted to fight Gina so badly. But then we have Emilio, who actually set the bombs on this roof. And that right there got rid of the other Twilights that showed up. But he told Sig and Cole to get out of there, because right now, like there's no way they can actually fight her. But then when like Gina questions, who they are, I was like definitely shocked when like Cole here actually spilled the beans and told him, who they work for, because I thought that right there would like be, it's like some pretty big secret. But no, that right there was not the case at all. But now going back to Miss Cristiano and Alex, we now have her men coming to get her and the baby. And so right now she was going to leave, but when she had went to Alex's room, who were now sleeping, because I'm guessing she was like overwhelmed with all these memories she had recovered. We have Miss Cristiano talking to her, and Alex was not really in her right state of mind, because eventually she actually passed out. And so now I do wonder just how stable she is, because obviously now Alex is pretty messed up, especially with like her past coming back to her. But now going back to Delico and Yang, they were going around looking for any clues about where they could find Erica and Sally. At first they had no luck, but then we see now that at one point when they had walked past this alley, we see like someone sitting in, like someone was like sitting there. And at first I was like wondering if that right there was like possibly one of the hunters. But no, it was actually a tag who had wanted revenge, because Erica actually killed her little sister, who was actually 6 years old. And that right there was like definitely pretty messed up and very cruel, because killing kids, that right there is a line in anime that I really can't get into. Now I'm not saying that I hate it, but to me it's something that I feel very, very hollow about, because I definitely don't want to over criticize it, because yes, the kids are definitely Twilight, but I feel that maybe they can get a free pass. But no, these hunters, they don't care whether you're old or young, they will kill you. And so eventually now, after learning about this little girl, Delico wants to stop her, and we see now that like one of her legs are definitely messed up. It looked very, very weird. And even though they did not go into great detail about it, because she just said that one day her leg, stopped working properly, I do wonder what in the world happened that caused her leg to, become like that. Because to me, she was actually using it pretty well, when she chased down Delico, even though obviously, she could not, kill him. But now going back to the Bachelor Club, we have Marco now learning about what's going on with the Hunters. And he actually asked them about two people, or actually no, he asked them about one guy specifically who we saw talking to, one lady who actually kidnapped Connie in the end. So apparently Delico has a past with the male that was like choking out some guy, and we have a kid, choking him. I mean, we have a kid watching in horror. So hopefully that right there will be explained, rather quickly, next week, because sadly Gangsta does end, this coming Sunday. And so now we have Marco, right now he is definitely worried, because even though he wants to wish that, that he is possibly imagining things, he still had the need to like check it out. And so now we see him taking off, and we see where he's going, because right now we have Connie. She actually had went to her grandmother's shop, and we have a lady there wanted to buy some smokes or tobacco. And so right now that right there was the only place where like she could buy it. And we see now that when Connie showed up, that girl immediately took interest in her, as Connie was like going on, pretty much, like giving her away at this point. And so eventually when she had found a smoke that like this woman had wanted, she actually said that like she actually smells like a familiar man who we all know as Marco, because that right there is the, normal that like Connie, spends the most time with. And when Marco does show up, he was gone, because all that was left was her hat. And so I do wonder if Connie will be killed, because if she is, that right there will be, pretty messed up. But now backtracking a bit, I definitely got to cover the whole Doug death thing, because to me, that right there caught me off guard, because we had Galahad, I believe that's his name, he's the big buff black guy who's actually an A rank. We have Galahad Galahad showing up at first, and right now he was talking to the old woman who actually worked with the handyman who cared about Alex and Connie's grandmother. We had them talking at first, but obviously now it was dangerous there, so he had got like all the normals to get out. And so right now that of course included her, but we see now that when he was walking into where the explosion was like going on, that smoke was like really affecting his nose and his vision. And so right now he has saw someone walking toward him, and that person turned out to be Doug. And we see now that Doug, Doug immediately clapped into his arms. And so right now we have Galahad going to help him, but no, Doug actually refused it, and I have no idea why. And even though Doug here is definitely not talking in words and more like sounds, Galahad was like somehow able to like actually understand him, and we see that in his final moments now, Doug actually gives him his tags, and Galahad was like saying, we'll probably join you soon. And if all these like high-ranking Twilights die, to me, that right there will be a shame, because that just means that these hunters, they are just way too overpowered. But I don't believe someone like Galahad will die so easily, because I will say that like Doug was like caught off guard, because I do believe that the smoke and the explosion pretty much helped him like lower his guard a bit. And so that's why I think that maybe Galahad won't suffer the same way. But seeing Doug death, to me, that right there was like pretty surprising, because I did not see it coming. Seeing him go out with a smile though, I feel that right there definitely helped me, like the character even more. But overall, the episode, like I said, to me it was surprising. Doug definitely caught me off guard, and that right there was a shock. And sadly, next week that right there is where it ends. But overall, this episode, it was fantastic. Definitely one of the best. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy. I'll see you all next time.